Hey guys, today I'll be sharing again about how to speak English naturally. And I have explained in my previous video, but when I heard the explanation is quite complicated, so I would like to share again the explanation in more clear fashion. So there are two processes that you have to do every single day. First is input. It is the passive skill of English skill. So there are two skill, listening skill and reading skill. Imagine a baby when they was born, they cannot speak any language, they cannot understand any language, but when they expose themselves with a lot of sound, a lot of language, they can know how to spell the words. They cannot suddenly read the text, they cannot suddenly write something. So they through the language, through listening first. So the first step that we should do is actually listening. It's important to improve your pronunciation, the vocabulary. Instead of you learned the vocabulary word by word, it's hard for you to put it into the conversation and into monologue because it's confusing. So instead of learning single word, you have to learn the vocabulary through listening, so you can hear the how the pronunciation, how's the context to use the words. So you have to listen your favorite topic. For example, you like to know about self-improvement, you want to know about psychology, you want to know about politics, you want to know about sport, you want to know about environment, you are so curious about engineering and any other. So you have to find it in English. You have to expose so many things through podcasts, through movies that talk about the things that you like, for example education, or you can also listen audiobook. For example, you are passionate about psychology, so you find the topic, like you, for example, like you find the channels that talk about your favorite topic, listen every single day, write down in your notes the things that you don't know, the vocabulary that you don't know, or the words that often said by the speaker. Listen with subtitle or without subtitle is okay. As long as you do it every single day, you will have more vocabulary in your head. If you have ideas and vocabulary in your head, of course you can speak. And the second step, don't only be a passive learner but be active learner. Active to speak the things that you have listened. For example, you watch a movie about Transformer, and then explain to someone about the things that you have listened, that you have watched, the story that you have listened from the movie. Explain to someone. If you can explain, of course it means that you are understand about the stories. you know you have to speak. There are some ways of speaking skill. So some ways to improve the speaking skill through self-talking. If you don't have any English speaking partner, you can talk with yourself through talking with mirror, or you can make an account in your social media, especially for improving your English speaking skill. You talk about anything in English, like what I am doing right now. I make an account for fun to speak English every single day to improve my speaking skill, because I have to be consistent to speak in English. So I make this account, I share the thoughts in English, I share anything to speak in English to improve my English speaking skill. You also have to do that. Also, another way you can find a partner. For example, like there are a lot of applications like Health Talk, and Episode, and another application that actually serve and provide you to find your English speaking partner. But if you are too shy, don't worry, you can find ChatGPT as your partner to talk about anything if you are not comfortable to talk with human. And you can also talk with yourself, like when you are having like a free time, you can talk with yourself, practice with yourself every single day. And then we back to the input. After we listen, after we practice to speak, and then we have to read a lot of things. If you don't like to read book, it's okay, you can read short article in the internet. You can maybe read about the comment in social media, the comment of English speaker, English native speaker, or the caption from the social media, or you can read anything, magazine, newspaper, and the short text in your textbook. Maybe you have to read a lot of books if you want to have and you want to develop your ideas in English. You have to read more books, read a lot of English book. Read, maybe if you are not interested to read any book, you can read like maybe the short English text, English story, or the things that you really like. It's really important to gain a lot of information so you can have a lot of idea. If you find like quotes, if you find interesting sentence from the writer, you have to highlight, you have to write down in your notes so you can have the idea of something you can explain or paraphrasing with your own words and with your own sentence. And the last skill, the active skill, to communicate is using writing skill. You have to practice writing by write the diary. You have to write your thoughts, record your thoughts by writing. It can be effective for you to think in English if you write your feelings, your thoughts, your ideas. If you have ideas in something about something, you have to directly write it in your journal. So I have a journal. I will give you example. I have the journal. I often write my feelings in English. I write every single day. I write anything, my ideas, the issue that happen around me, the problems that I face, anything, the goals that I want to achieve. So I write it in English. So intinya adalah kita harus punya kebiasaan untuk membaca, mendengarkan, dan berkomunikasi menggunakan bahasa Inggris. Jadi the problems of nowadays people, actually the teacher in informal school, they are emphasized on teaching about the textbook and about the structure of the sentence, how to, the theory of English, more complex into theory but less of practice. So they emphasize to the things that, not readily to practice English. So the problem is that the students are too shy, too afraid to speak English because the teacher actually only talks about the theories. When I was in school, that's my experience. But if you are studying in international school, of course you speak English every day. But if not, don't be worried. You can do it by yourself. You can doing self-study. You have to expose yourself with English. That's all that I would like to share. Thank you for watching.